Welcome to Ramses Overdark. Hope you're excited to get some old school magic going. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I think we keep on this one. Ancient Tomb, Soul Ring. We've got a Chrome Mox on a blue source, which would be. Well, do we want to keep on this one? Because that puts us on Stroke of Genius, which would be. We could like of Genius for like 3? But then that would cut us. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. Let's Chrome Mox and Soul Ring. That Hero's Downfall. Yeah, that sounds decent. We're going to try our best to make this work. Let's lead off with Swamp. Let's go for Soul Ring. And I think at this point, what we'll probably do is just hold on to Chrome Mox. That way we can grab a blue source for that Stroke of Genius. So anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Yeah, a little bit clunky. This is definitely hand was on the cusp of mulliganing, but we've got a removal spell. We've got something that interacts with Ramses. We've got some good mana and a way to kind of take advantage of good mana with some card draw. So if we wanted to be aggressive, we could send it back, but we're going to keep on this one. Hopefully, Ramses will treat us with there we go, treat us with a blue source. We've got ourselves a Temple of Deceit. So I'm just going to get this down, get a little bit of scurry going, a little bit of fever, a little bit of insanity. And where's the scry screen? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Yes, Toxic actually sounds really good. We're going to put that on top of our library because if you don't know, Animar has protection from black, so it's a little hard to target Animar with some spot removal. So Toxic Deluge is going to be a wonderful option for getting rid of Animar. But let's go and cover our commanders really quick. So we're playing Ramses Overdark. 2 mana, double blue, double black, tap, destroy target enchanted creature. That's exactly what you think about with the Dimir commander. But look at that art, man. Whoa, looking pretty sweet. And all right, so we run into that Toxic Deluge. Just have Ancient Tomb come down. That still puts us on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's go Chrome Mox. And let's exile. We could go for Hero's Downfall. But I like holding on to that. So let's go and exile Sleeper's Guile from the hand. Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're going to exile Sleeper's Guile. And this is going to allow us to just go for a Stroke of Genius right now. That's going to be blue, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. X is going to be 4. And then if they've got a single removal spell, that's fine. But just being able to get ahead on, oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Anything else, pass turn to our opponent. So play gets Animar. That worked out. Beat turn 3, and we just refueled and got over. It's like we're playing mono green. Playing gets Animar. Protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1 counter on Animar. Soul of Elements. Then creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast 4. Each +1 counter on Animar. So make Animar just a little bit more normal size. There we go. And we're actually in a pretty good position. This is really where this deck wants to be. We need to get one more artifact down for Tezzeret to take advantage of that card advantage, but I kind of like it. So we'll see what we can do. Let's see what we've drawn to. If we hit another cheap artifact, that'll really help out. All right, Unhallowed Pack. So let's have Island come down. We are looking at double blue, double black. We can actually go for Ramses right now if we want to. And that does put us in a weird spot with Toxic Deluge, I think. We could go Hero's Downfall and then Hollowed Pack if we wanted to. That'll give us an extra mana dork. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but if we're in the name of the game for some extra mana, and then that does kind of put us in a weird spot with going for that. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go Tezzeret, because the reason I like going for Tezzeret is because we can kind of see what our opponent's got kind of going on with their hand. So let's go Ancient Tomb. That way we can still at least kind of keep up Limdil's Vault. Actually, it's not going to matter with that. Let's see if we can't tap this. Either way, we're tapping down on blue. So let's go black. There we go. All right, so I was thinking that we could leave out Limdil's Vault, but we only have 2 black sources. Let's go for a Thopter activation. That way, if we don't hit the Thopter, we can at least still be online for the Tezzeret. So anything else? Yeah, I think we want to hold on to Unhallowed Pact. I mean, we could put it on. Yeah, actually, let's do that. So let's go Unhallowed Pact, because we do. Yeah, I think I kind of like that, because that puts us in a spot to where we can go Here's Downfall next turn. We can bring it back if we want to. I think that'll be good. So let's put on a Hollow Pact on Incubation Druid, and then we'll go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to be one of the acolytes for Ramses Overdark that lights the little fires right there in his vases in his dark cave, secret cave underground, check it out. That's what we've got going on. We're looking for a few fresh acolytes, and head on over there if you want to try out. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com /Jolt. You can go anything on the website to kind of treat yourself if you want to have some fun. And yeah, I think this Toxic will work out really well now. And so, but yeah, be sure to check them out. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. You get your name at the beginning or the end of the credits if you want to help support cool content like this, or if you can get your hands on some of these tokens. Make sure that you're patron of my Patreon. You'll be automatically entered into my giveaway. So there we go. So I have the baby monitor with me. And if you don't know, my wife and I had a baby, which we're very excited about. But my baby monitor was, if you hear some beeping, it's beeping because it's lost connection to the, there we go. It's losing connect. Oh, and then Mana Crypt. It's losing connection with the base. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't beep, and at the same time making sure baby girl is still sleeping okay. So let's go and cash in some of this Tezzeret card draw. I think that's going to be pretty good. Okay, oh, and then we run into the Scarab God, which is going to be very nice. So we'll have Isle enter the battlefield, because that's going to be our land drop for the turn. That's going to allow us to gain 1 life. Let's go for Toxic Deluge for 2, because that's going to allow us to... Actually, let's do it this way, because we need to tap down Chrome Mox. 1, 2. Let's go Toxic Deluge for 2. And actually, the better option would be for us to swing in with Thopter first, because that way we can at least get in for an extra point of damage. So let's go and push in for 1. Puts them down to 29, and let's go for Toxic Deluge. It's going to be Chrome Mox. It always feels good to get into like a little Thopter damage. We're going to pay 1, 2, pay 2 life. That's going to give us Incubation Druid back, which will be pretty nice. And then we can worry about going for Ramses Overdark. So look at that. Come back here, Incubation Druid. You're ours now. And then Limdol's Vault. So that's going to be 1, 2. We don't have enough colored mana. And I guess at this point, yeah, we just go the Scarab God. The other cool thing about this Ramses deck, and I'll definitely talk about it in a sec, is that this is basically just kind of not mono back, but Dimir. All right, Poto's going to scoop it up on this one, so I'm going to go and post this up because it's not really often that you're able to kind of close the game out against Animar very quickly. But long story short, we sent Animar back to the command zone, and once we sent Animar back, it's going to be hard for our opponent to keep up. We've got the Scarab God. That way, if there's any graveyard interactions with some sacrificing or something like that, we can bring it back out. We're in a pretty good position where we can just Tezzeret ourselves out and just, drawing 3 cards per turn. It's going to be really hard for our opponent to stop it. So wasn't the most exciting of wins, but since Ramses is a little difficult to get some wins sometimes, I'm at least going to go ahead and toss this into the win category for Ramses over there. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Ramses Overdark. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we're going to keep on this one. We got ourselves a nice little ancient tomb. We've got 2 other lands. We've got Damnation, which will hopefully clean up on Kozilek. I don't know how we're going to sequence these Kozilek games together, and so I don't want to spoil anything, but at least we've got... Hopefully it's a good match. We'll see how I ended up editing it and post-edit, but if you saw something before this, then you'll... Anyway, I'm rambling. Yes, anyways, welcome. Let's have some fun. So, thankfully, our opponent's not off to a very quick start, and we'll go and lead off with, let's see, there we go. Ooh, Mystical Tutor. So let's lead off with Marsh Flats. I think that'll be good. And then anything else, pass turn over to our opponent. We're playing Ramses Overdark. 2 mana, double blue, double black. Tap, destroy target enchanted creature. Everything that you want in a Dimir commander. Playing against Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Whenever you cast this spell, I'm just going to crack Marsh Flats. And since we've got a board wipe, we've got Corrupted Conscience, yeah, I think we're okay with this. Let's grab Underground Sea, and then let's grab Mystical Tutor. Is that something that we want to end up going for? Yeah, I think we're cool with that. All right, so let's go Mystical Tutor. Let's just grab something just decent out of our hand. So let's get this pulled up. That's going to go on top of our library. And I think we might just end up going for Read the Bones. I mean, I know that's not the best thing out there, but We're going to have a Read the Bones on turn 2, which is pretty much what this deck wants to do. So we need to generate some card advantage as quickly as possible. So let's go Ancient Tomb, let's go Read the Bones. Not the sexiest mystical tutor that we could go for, but sometimes it's just good and reliable. So, oh, and then Vampiric Tutor. So we tutored for Read the Bones for a tutor. So Hero's Downfall. Actually, both of these are pretty good options. So I think we'll just put both on top. Yeah, I mean, because that allows us to get rid of any sort of creatures, especially deal with Kozilek. Both of those go into our hand. We've already made the land drop, then we'll go and pass the turn. So with Kozilek, enters the battlefield, draw 4, Annihilator 4. Then if it gets put in the graveyard, shuffle the graveyard back into your library. So also, a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to be one of the acolytes for Ramses Overdark and help light those little vase torches, the fire torches, whatever you want to call them, we're looking for some acolytes. So head on over there to MTGOTraders. Let's go for Command Tower. And yeah, I think on Vampiric Tutor, since we are kind of making our land drops, I think we might just kind of wait on this one. Anything else? We've got Damnation. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we'll see exactly what we want to end up ripping with Vampiric Tutor, if there's anything that we would end up going for. We do potentially have Cyclonic Rift, but with a monocolored deck like this, they can always rebound pretty quick. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, Wormcoil Engine. Now, we do have Corrupted Conscience. If Corrupted Conscience is a wonderful option for Wormcoil Engine, which I kind of do like that. So, and it does have Infect. So, let's go Vampiric Tutor. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. So we go Vampiric Tutor. Let's see what exactly we're going to grab. But we're going to get this popped out just a little bit. You know, let's just go and grab a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That way, once we grab Wormcoil Engine with Corrupted Conscience, that will allow us to have some sort of stabilizing force from our opponent. So, all right, so we draw into Jace. Let's have this island come down. Let's go for Corrupted Conscience. There we go. That's going to be double blue. This is a very good feeling. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to steal Wormcoil Engine, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn over to our opponent. So that's one of the fun things about playing this deck is sometimes you get these little games to where you just have this Corrupted Conscience game, and we can start to swing in. So another cool option is if we really want to just go to Value Town, we could put Unholy Indenture on Wormcoil Engine, and that allows us to bring it back and get a few extra things down. So that kind of sounds like a pretty good plan. And if they're going to end up going for Kozilek, we still have Hero's Downfall, which is going to be a good option for us. So we're at least looking at 6 Infect damage at this point right now, which we will definitely take that. So let's go for Misty. Let's go and swing in for 6. This feels good. All right, so we're going to swing in for 6. That's going to be a little bit of infect damage. It's going to put them down to 6 infect. And then we can go for Ramses Overdark if we wanted to. But I think we need to leave up here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we end up going Jace, yeah, I think we need to leave up Hero's Downfall because that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We can put Unholy Indenture on Wormcoil Engine if we wanted to and still leave up here. Yeah, let's do that. That way we at least still have some sort of option. So that way if they do get a removal spell, at least we're going to be able to bring it back and still have Wormcoil out on the battlefield. So we came here to play some Wormcoil Enchantress today. Hope you're excited. So there we go. Let's pass it back over to our opponent. If they end up tapping out Kozilek, that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If they tap out for Kozilek to draw some cards, we have Hero's Downfall, destroy target creature because it does not have indestructible. That should be the game with Infect. So we will see what's going to happen on this. So that should kind of work out. And that's one of the things with Ramses Overdark is when I originally built Ramses, if you're thinking about building Ramses, you definitely want to build a Dimir black-blue control deck first, and then have Ramses be the support package. Because if you try to go Ramses first, you've got a 6 commander. 6 converted mana cost commander. It's hard to get that double blue, double black sometimes. It's hard to get the enchantments going. And so typically what I do is I run about a 8 to 10 aura package that interacts with Ramses. Then the rest of the deck is just hardcore just kind of control, black-blue control. We've got the Scarab God, we've got Jace the Mind Sculptor. This really allows you to kind of push an alternative game plan, then go for Ramses as a little bit of a cleanup option. So if you're thinking about building Ramses Overdark, if you come across this video via YouTube search, definitely build it that way, because I did originally build Ramses as like a just straight up aura deck, and Dimir is just not well suited for aura. It's just not that good. So Something you kind of want to keep in mind. Now with Mishra's Factory, if we end up going for... So what we can do is I think we can set this up just a little bit better. We go for Jace. No, but that's going to cut us off Hero's Downfall, so we're not going to be able to go for that. So let's see what we rip into. Let's go and crack Misty. Let's grab ourselves a Watery Grave. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, and let's still end up going for Hero's Downfall. Yeah, we're going to pay 2 life. Let's go Hero's Downfall at the end of the turn. That's going to get rid of Ramses Overdark. It's going to force them to go for Butcher. Maybe they go for Mishra's Factory activation at some point, and that'll allow us to kind of hopefully dodge past that. So, all right, Lightning Greaves. Let's go Jace the Mind Sculptor, mainly because this will allow us to at least kind of just dig a little bit deeper into our library. That way, if we happen to run into like a not Knight's Whisper, but go for the Throat or something like that, that'll really help out. So let's draw 3 cards. Ooh, and then Toxic Deluge. Okay, so let's go. Let's put a couple cards back on top. Let's put Sleeper's Guile back on top, and we will put, I guess at this point, we'll just put Damnation back on top. All right, so make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be allow us to gain a life, and let's go for Lightning Greaves. Look at this. We're going to go Lightning Greaves. We're going to get Lightning. This is just 100% Wormcoil Voltron. All right. So, and this is what makes the deck fun too. Is, you know, like this is our game plan now, and that's kind of the cool things. Is it just keeps you open for whatever you want to do. Not whatever you want to do. It's just kind of whatever your opponent's trying to do. It allows you to go for that. So let's see if we're going to get this Mishra's Factory activation. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to see it because that's going to be infect damage. We got a Wormcoil coming across. They're going to have protection. There we go. Look at that Mishra's Factory. Jumping in front of the Wormcoil, and that's going to put it into the graveyard. We gain a little bit of life, puts us back up to 27, and then we just pass the turn over to our opponent. So they did have to tap down Monolith. They did have to actually tap down both Monoliths. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have cut them off Kozilek mana. The only thing is they did draw 4 cards off of Kozilek, so we'll see what they've restocked on. If we have to end up going Toxic Deluge, we've still got some good stuff in our hand for Toxic Deluge. It's going to bring Wormcoil back on the battlefield. If they get another creature down, we've got the infect damage win with Wormcoil. We've got Jace to send it back. Even if we just have to Wormcoil for or Toxic for 2, that'll put Wormcoil down to 4, and that'll still be just enough infect. So if our opponent doesn't get a creature down, or at least multiple creatures down, then we should be able to close the game out between Toxic and Jace. So we'll see what sort of value creature they get down. But if it's just one creature, we're going to be able to bounce that back to their hand and kind of go from there. So let's see what they end up going for. Okay, so we're going to see Paradox Engine. That's going to be Metal Worker. That's going to allow them to add a bunch of Monolith mana to their... And here's the downside. So Paradox Engine is banned in regular Commander, but it's not banned in 1 versus 1 Commander. But I mean, really, if something's good enough for multiplayer Commander to be banned, it should be banned in 1v1 Commander. It just kind of makes sense because, oh, and then Memory Jar. Okay, all right, so we're going to let them kind of go through this turn. I'll kind of tell you what Paradox Engine in 1v1. So Paradox Engine is not banned in 1v1. Basically, Magic Online has kind of stopped updating 1v1 Commander. They did a few Bane lists a while back, but they haven't done a major update in probably like a year or something like that. So who knows what that is. Unfortunately, we don't run into any free spells off of that card. So we'll see what's going to end up happening. They're basically going to be able to generate a ton of mana with Kozilek, draw a bunch of cards. We'll see if they have the haste option, but I'll just kind of... But long story short, Paradox Engine, it's not banned in 1v1 Commander, and I don't put Paradox Engine in my decks simply just because I try my best to mirror how close my decks would operate. Like if you watch one of my videos, I want you to be like pull my list from my video and take it to a local gaming store and play it. That's how I build my decks. And so I don't include Paradox. So it's banned in 1v1, but some people still play with it. I'm not hating on our opponent, but it's just kind of one of those. I mean, it's a legal card, so hey, it is what it is. At this point right now, they're going to be able to generate a ton of mana. So until they get some sort of payoff spell, I'm just going to kind of let them kind of do their thing, and then I'll jump into commentary. Okay, so our opponent, they have Paradox Engine assembled. They're going to hardcast Emrakul. At this point, we're just going to go and scoop it up. I mean, I know they're going to be able to gain control of our hand, but our turn next turn. But hey, when you're beat, you're beat. Yeah, with that Paradox Engine, it kind of takes me out of the game sometimes, just simply because it's, it's a little hard to get a good showing. But hey, good game to our opponent. They're going to be able to get it. They're going to have Emrakul coming down. They have unlimited mana out here. They've got Karn, which is going to shut off any sort of artifacts that we may have, so we're not really going to be able to ramp from there. So you can see where we almost had it done. We had infect damage going, and that's one of the fun things about this deck is that there's no clear win condition. You know, it's very demure in that there's not really a set way to win. You have to use your opponent's pieces to help you win. So you can use Ramses Overdark in addition to something like Unholy Indenture. Let's say we put Unholy on Metalworker, and then we go for Ramses, or bring Metalworker back to our hand. Then we get Tezzeret going, or we go for a quick Corrupted Conscience. I mean, whatever your win condition is, it's just really fun to play this deck because it kind of relies on what your opponent's doing on the battlefield. So anyway, it's always nice to kind of play these old school commanders. They are a little bit of a setback, but they're fun to play, and just look how cool that art is. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.